welcome to each of our nominees. Congratulations on your nomination and your willingness to serve in this important role. I chair the Surface Transportation Subcommittee of this full committee, and in July I convened a field hearing in Lansing, Michigan, to discuss investments made by the bipartisan infrastructure law, including passenger rail, which was a significant part. I believe it's a really exciting time in Michigan right now for train travel, and specifically we received a corridor ID grant to explore increasing intercity passenger rail along every major route in our state, and potentially, and this is very exciting, expanding the Wolverine line into Windsor, Canada. This would mean returning passenger rail to the historic and recently renovated, beautifully renovated, Michigan Central Station in downtown Detroit. So my first question is for you, Mr. Vittori. I know you're a Michigan native as well, and that's a great credential to have. Mr. Vittori, I'm a huge advocate for passenger rail in Michigan, which is why I'm working right now to secure $2 million to fund the development of a new intermodal bus and passenger rail facility at that Michigan Central Station, as well as a new station in Ann Arbor. This summer, Michigan Central Station reopened its doors for the first time since 1967, and this new state-of-the-art complex not only includes a rehabilitated transit station, but also research and development facilities where the future of urban transit is being designed as well as being tested. Now that we're beginning to see the early success of this rehabilitation project, I think it's critical that we work to restore Amtrak's presence at the Central Michigan Central Station and make service between Detroit and Windsor, Canada, a reality. So my question for you is, if confirmed, will you support efforts to reestablish service to Michigan Central Station and expand Amtrak service routes throughout Michigan?
Yes, Senator, I would, and I think there's an opportunity for us to provide a service that's better than what it was once known to be. Good.
Well, if confirmed, I will look forward to working closely with you to make that happen. Ms. Clegg, expanding rail service to places like Michigan can and should include international rail travel, which is why I'm so excited about this Windsor opportunity. And as Chair of Homeland Security and Government Affairs, I'm committed to working with all of the agencies involved to make sure that we can do that in a timely manner as we cross international borders or require that kind of coordination. So given your work, Ms. Clegg, in the Mountain West and in the Pacific Northwest, can you discuss the feasibility of coordinating rail travel across our northern border? And do you think progress has been made on models that will allow that to actually happen?
Chairman Cantwell, Senator Peters, absolutely. In Chairman Cantwell's state of Washington, the state and the states of Oregon and the province of British Columbia are working hard to extend service regularly from Portland all the way to Vancouver. As part of that, they're working on a system where that cross-border customs work will be done very quickly, very seamlessly as part of the trip and not take more time. So I think there's examples of that happening. I think for our train system to be effective across North America, I think we need to expand those examples, and I'm really happy to hear that Windsor is in the mix here.
Yeah, definitely is, and what's so exciting about that route, I just see this amazing corridor because we have the train now from Detroit to Chicago. So from Chicago to Detroit to Windsor and then Toronto. I mean, that would be an amazing economic corridor to develop. And if you've got two major financial centers like Chicago and Toronto connected together and coming through Detroit, it'll be a powerful driver, kind of like the corridor we see here on the East Coast. Three major cities all connected with high-speed rail ultimately would be amazing. So my last question is for both you, Ms. Clegg, and Mr. Capozzi. I serve on the Senate Appropriations Committee, and I'm supporting an increase in Amtrak funding for the next fiscal year. And I believe this money will allow Amtrak to sustain operations, maintain a state of good repair, and safely get passengers to their destination. So quickly, if both of you could discuss the importance of adequate funding in the remaining time, which is limited.
Senator Peters, adequate funding is vital for Amtrak to continue to provide good service, not just adequate, but stable, being able to count on it, not being an annual appropriation.
Great. Composi?
I would agree with that, and especially in terms of accessibility. So Amtrak, as I said in my testimony, has about a third of its stations that fully meet the accessibility requirements under the ADA. And in order to get that to 100%, which the goal publicly stated by Amtrak is 2029, it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of commitment to make that happen. So absolutely, full funding is absolutely critical.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Peters. I don't see any of our colleagues on the other side. I know Senator Blackburn was on the screen, but I don't see her now, so I'm going to turn to Senator Welch.
Thank you very much, Madam